My child won't follow routines. Here is what finally worked. If you have printed a routine chart, laminated it, stuck it on the wall, and your child still refuses to follow it, this video is for you. I am going to show you the 3 things I changed that finally made a difference, because I know how frustrating this can be. You prepare the pictures, arrange the steps, set the timer, and offer a reward. You remind your child once, then several more times, and somehow you still end up standing in the same place, repeating the same instruction while your child appears to ignore the beautiful chart you worked so hard to create. It can make you wonder whether you are doing something wrong. You are not failing, and your child is not necessarily being stubborn. Sometimes the problem is not that the child cannot follow a routine. The problem is that the routine is asking the child to process too much, too quickly, with too little ownership. That was the first thing I had to understand. A routine chart is not magic simply because it contains pictures. It can still be too long, unclear, or presented at the wrong moment. It can still feel like a wall of adult demands. The visual is only useful when it makes life easier for the child. So, before I share the 3 things that worked, let us look at why routines can break down. For many autistic children and children with additional needs, the hardest part is not always the activity itself. It is moving from one activity to another. Your child may be comfortable watching a favorite program, drawing, or doing something familiar. Then we arrive and say, "Time to stop. Go upstairs, have a bath, put on your pajamas, brush your teeth, and get into bed." To us, that is one bedtime instruction. To the child, it may be 7 separate demands arriving at once. There is also the sensory part. The bathroom may bring bright lights, echoes, running water, strong smells, and uncomfortable textures. Getting dressed may involve seams, labels, or tight waistbands. Brushing teeth may bring a strong taste, foam, and pressure inside the mouth. What looks like resistance to the routine may actually be resistance to something uncomfortable inside the routine. Then there is processing. Some children need more time between hearing an instruction and acting upon it. Repeating the instruction more loudly does not necessarily help. Every repetition may become another piece of information to sort through. And there is control. All day, children are told where to go, what to wear, and what to stop doing. When a routine contains no room for preference, refusal may become the only way to say, "I need some control." Once I understood those things, I stopped treating the routine as a test of obedience. I began treating it as a bridge. Here are the 3 changes that made that bridge easier to cross. Number 1, shrink the routine. The first thing I changed was the number of steps. I had assumed that more detail would make the routine clearer. Sometimes it did the opposite. For a child who finds sequencing, planning, or transitions difficult, 10 pictures may feel like 10 demands that must all be completed before relief arrives. So I reduced the routine to 3 visible steps. Not 10, just 3. For a morning routine, that might be get dressed, eat breakfast, put on shoes. For bedtime, it might be use the toilet, put on pajamas, get into bed. If one activity contains several difficult steps, create a separate mini strip for it. The main routine should not show the whole day when the child can only manage the next small section. You can also begin with a now and next card. Now, put on pajamas. Next, choose a story. This helps the child see not only the demand, but also where the demand ends and what comes afterwards. That ending matters. When a child cannot see the finish line, even a simple task can feel endless. I also removed each picture when the step was complete. The child could place it in a finished pocket or turn it over, making progress visible. The routine was no longer something fixed on a wall, silently announcing everything that had not yet been done. It became something the child could move through, one completed step at a time. Number 2, give a choice within the routine. The second change was allowing choice without abandoning the routine. The routine still had to happen. Teeth still needed to be cleaned, clothes still needed to be changed. We still had to leave the house, but not every part had to be controlled by me. Instead of saying, "Go and brush your teeth now," I could say, "Would you like to wash your face first or brush your teeth first?" Instead of choosing every item of clothing, I could offer 2 suitable tops. These are not unlimited choices. They are 2 safe options within a necessary boundary. This is important because too many choices can also overwhelm a child. Asking, "What do you want to wear?" may require far more planning than choosing between 2 prepared options. The aim is not to hand every decision to the child. The aim is to give the child a meaningful place inside the routine. Choice creates ownership, and ownership often reduces the need to resist. If a particular order is necessary for safety or timing, the choice can be somewhere else. The child may not be able to choose whether to leave for school, but they can choose which bag to carry. They may not choose whether to get dressed, but they can choose between 2 comfortable outfits. The boundary remains, but the child is no longer being carried through the routine as though their preferences do not matter. Number 3, show the visual instead of repeating the words. The third change was learning to use the visual as communication, not decoration. For a long time, the chart was on the wall, but I was still doing most of the work verbally. I was saying, "Come on, I have told you already. Look at the chart. We're going to be late." The more anxious I became, the more words I used. The more words I used, the harder it became for my child to identify the actual instruction. So I changed my approach. I brought the visual to the child. I pointed to one picture. I used one short phrase, "Shoes on." Then I waited. The waiting was part of the instruction. I had to give the words time to land. If the child was involved in another activity, I showed the visual before the transition, not only when I expected movement. I might show 5 minutes, then shoes, 2 minutes, then shoes. Now shoes. The pictures remained consistent, and my language remained simple. The visual also had to be where the routine happened. A hand-washing sequence is useful near the sink. A dressing strip belongs near the clothes. A leaving the house routine belongs where shoes, bags, and coats are collected, and the picture must mean something to your child. Some children understand symbols. Others respond better to photographs of their own cup, bathroom, shoes, or school bag. A beautifully designed image is not helpful if the child does not understand what it represents. The visual must speak the child's language. That is why you may need to experiment. Ready-made visual schedule and transition resources can give you a strong starting point, and you can find printable options at speciallymadeshop.com. But even with a ready-made pack, choose the cards that fit your child. Start small. Place them where they are needed. Change what is not working. The goal is not to make your child fit the chart. The goal is to make the chart support your child. 3 quick wins to try this week. Here are 3 things you can begin today. First, choose only one routine. Do not try to repair every part of the day in 1 week. Choose one short routine that happens regularly and offers a good chance of success. Success teaches both you and your child how to use the system. Second, identify the exact point where the routine breaks. Do not simply write, "My child refuses bedtime." Watch closely. Does the difficulty begin when the television goes off, when the child enters the bathroom, when water touches the body, or when the child cannot see what happens after the final picture? The answer may show you that the child is not resisting the whole routine. One transition, sensation, or unclear step may be stopping everything that follows. Third, celebrate completion, not perfection. If the child completes 2 of the 3 steps with support, that is information and progress. If a routine works one day and collapses the next, the system has not necessarily failed. Sleep, illness, hunger, noise, and unexpected changes can alter what a child can manage. Adjust the support without turning the difficult day into a moral judgment. Routines should create safety and growing independence. They should not become another place where the child repeatedly hears that they have failed. And parents need to hear the same thing. You have not failed because the laminated chart did not transform your home. Sometimes we were given the tool without being shown how to make the tool fit the child. Shrink the routine. Give a choice within it. Show the visual instead of filling the moment with words. Then observe, adjust, and try again. If this has helped you, subscribe to Mother's Journey and tell me in the comments which part of your child's routine is hardest at the moment. Is it getting dressed, leaving the house, meal times, homework, bath time, or bedtime? Your answer may help another parent realize that they are not alone. For printable visual schedule and transition resources, visit speciallymadeshop.com. And for daily encouragement and faith from the Special Needs Journey, visit mothersfaith. This is Mother's Journey. Share mercy daily.